Well, I got my first foil, so I thought I would decide to prep my 2005 Starboard formula for a foil. So without going to actually a reinforced fin box, I'm going to try to make my stock fin box work. So I'm going to do 4 layers of carbon fiber around here and probably about 2 layers of fiberglass around this ridge, kind of a smiley face of reinforcement. I'm going to do fiberglass here just because it'll show through the graphics, because I don't want to totally ruin the look of the board. And also have a nose pad and a mast pad. So with all that together, it should be really durable, and at least from my first times out fumbling, it should be able to hold up. So I'm going to start out with just sanding. I'm just going to make it smooth, because it's going to be, if there's any push on this or this, it's going to be from a mast or from the foil pulling down. So it's not going to be pushing up, so I don't have to go crazy low or ruin the graphics. I'm just going to try to make it smooth and take off this grit a little bit. I think it's 120. So yeah, that's a quick over, and I'll see how this goes. So I'm working at it for just a few minutes, and it's flat and good to go. And yeah, that should be all ready for the next step of cleaning. Let's go over here, see, clean this up. Clean it up a little bit, take off the dust. Using some denatured alcohol to get it extra clean in case if there's any oil or waxing residue or anything like that. Looks good. Now I'm going to cut up some strips and prepare the layout of the glass and carbon fiber. I almost forgot to make a template for the holes, just so I know where to drill, and it's super easy. I theoretically could drill from the bottom side, this will be easier. Just took a piece of paper, put 2 marks where the holes are, and folded it along this edge with a mark, so I should be able to, you know, take it off and then line it up here. Let's actually test this now. Find these folds, and then, yeah, they're in the same place. So I've got the 4 pieces of carbon fiber all cut out, ready to go. Now I'm setting up the nose pieces of fiberglass, kind of just using this microfiber towel to hold it in place. Just cutting around, it's looking pretty good. For this, it looks like I'm able to get a big chunk of it in one go, and that's about as far as I want to go down there. So I'm just going to continue cutting around, and hopefully I'll have enough for 2 coats, but it looks like I'm good there. All right. Nice. Now I have my 2 to 4 layers of fiberglass. Should be pretty clean and clear, and I should be able to see most of the graphics through just the 2 to 4 coats of fiberglass. So yeah, I'm going to take it off and get the epoxy / resin all ready to go. Okay, well, I'm all ready to do the resin epoxy. I got the resin with the slow, which has a pot time of about 25 minutes and a cure time of about 10 hours. I'm going to do a really thin paint coat down first, and then apply the carbon fiber or the epoxy and do another thin coat, and I want to make sure there's full saturation. I may start with the spreader, or depending on how smooth the brush is, and if it looks like it's getting full saturation, I may just finish all the coats. And my plan, I've done this before, is to put wax paper over the top, and that makes this, especially if it's clean, it makes it really easy and smooth to get a smooth pressured coat. And because it's going to just be pretty much a cover, it's not going to need to be watertight or anything. I think it'll be okay for air bubbles. The next few bits, I'm sure it's going to get really sloppy, and so I probably won't be able to record, but we'll see if there's a moment that I can kind of show the process in between. Okay. Well, one of my hands is dirty, and I've got the first part resin in, and I'm going to do the hardener in a moment, mix up, and I'm like, oh, gotta go fast. We'll see if this is enough for all of it, or I'll have to do 2 runs. I'm not making a huge amount, so it should be okay if I just do 1. But it'd be really cool if I could do it all with 1 go. That's my goal. At least and have to remember the grubby sweatshirt. Almost did it with my nice jacket, so I'm glad I remembered that. And yeah, we'll get to it. Nice. I got the layers down. Just brush, apply, blush, apply, brush, apply, and now I'm just kind of pressuring this out a little bit. The cool thing is you can kind of push it back in a little bit. Use the template to find the marks now, so as it's curing, at least I have some divots so I can just drill straight through, and it should be a little bit faster down the run. Well, I'm all done with the actual fiberglass and putting in the wax paper. I've been going around with this just to see if I can see any spots that were not fully saturated, and also to do my best to smooth it out, work it out a little bit more. I can get that to be a little bit more clear. It's been a little over an hour, so I'm just checking to see how the resin is curing, and it looks like it's getting quite tacky. Let's see if I can get this out. Yeah, very tacky. That's good. So it's curing okay. And I'm just going to go to see if there's any drips. I think this is probably the last time I have to do this. I've done it once before, but I'm going over here to see if there's any drips, because it's way easier to just swipe it real quick. Oh, there's some I can see. Way easier to swipe it real quick than sanding it, especially on the rail, because that could take away unnecessary material. It's been 20 hours, and it's time for you to take off the wax paper to see what I've got. Well, this might need 2 hands. That looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Reinforcing, you can still see the graphics. Yeah, a little bit of spots where the fiberglass is a little bit not extra thick. Nice. That's a real solid additional plate. That should be good. So right here, I have to drill. Might as well do this up, get these all cleaned up. I have a 1/4-inch drill bit. And I pre-check these. So, there we go. And a little bit of this, because a 1/4 inch is just one size up from the screw here. So just a little bit. Yeah, nice and thick. Here, extra spots that stick up. My plan was to paint and sand, but I'm actually going to go ahead and sand first and then paint afterwards, because I think it'll be fine here if it's slippery. But this is pretty slippery. I have a machine, but I don't want to really take off a lot of material. I just want to smooth out the high spots. Let's see how well this works. So there's a, let's make sure we're focused on there. There's a high spot. Let's see how quickly it's, oh, what side was there? Let's see how quickly this gets knocked down just by hand. See how much work I've got for hand. This is not a super important part of the rail, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but yeah, it's okay. I just want to make sure it's not sharp and not sticking out. So I think I'll go ahead and finish up with sanding, and then I'll move on to painting. I'm just kind of wiping off the majority of the dust with the kind of a thick microfiber towel, and then I'll do some denatured alcohol. I'm gonna mix up some gray. I'm gonna try about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try 10 of white and 1 of black. That might give me what I want. There we go. It's a little bit of a thick of a black. Let's see how that looks. Oh, it's a little too dark. Let's do 2 more whites. Let's do 3 actually. 1, 2. Yeah, that was a little bit more than about 4. Let's see. Looking pretty good. Still a little too dark. Let's do 4 more whites. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. I think the black pigment is pretty strong as far as the viscosity. And these are, what are these guys? These are acrylic colors, water-based. So I got a color to where I'm pretty happy with it. It's not really an improvement. It maybe makes it a little bit more subtle, but I can kind of use it. There's a couple of spots that it looks like the glass was a little, or the resin was a little not as thick as other spots. It fully saturated the actual fibers, but there's like a little extra thickness on top, which is kind of nice for, I guess, extra impact. Yeah, just a little gray color rather than the kind of the wood color. It's fine. It's nice. Just doing some painting. Just a little bit. There we go. Looks like I missed some wax paper. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so I think I'm about finished with the repair. That black piece looks good. I feel more confident on it holding for potential impact and just general wear and tear. And I'm going to use this with an AFS-85. It is the newer, actually very new foil system where they have different wings and different options, but I got the introductory intermediate one with only 85 centimeters long, the mast, so it should be a little bit easier with touchdowns, especially because the formula board has a lot more rocker, so that should be pretty good. Try it on maybe a nice day. But yeah, hopefully you've gained something out of this, and maybe you can kind of do some reinforcing for your foil board to be also. Have a good day.